All right, many of you asked for a driving tour of Liberty Lake to get a better feel for the area, so we're going to do just that and more. I drove all around the area, plus we're going to do a full map tour of Liberty Lake so you can get an idea of what the certain subdivisions and neighborhoods look like, what the community feel is, and if Liberty Lake is the right choice for you as you make your move to Spokane. So let's get right into this video. So Liberty Lake, there's kind of broken up into 5 or 6 different sections. And so today we'll be driving through the Legacy Ridge neighborhood just a little bit. I have another video right here where you can go like tour a little bit more of that area. I think it was my things to know if you're gonna move to Spokane, but I did it in that area. Then we'll take a look at the commercial area in Liberty Lake right off the freeway, just what kind of shops, restaurants, things like that is going on. Then we take a look at like the condominiums, the 55 plus area. I have a client moving into the condos at Big Trout here, and there's a lot of them. There's usually at least 1 or 2 for sale at any given time. So that's quite a popular area to get into Liberty Lake for the low 300,000s. We'll take a look at Stonehill and Rocky Hill Park. Stonehill is the community being built by Lennar, which I've talked about, and Rocky Hill is a little bit older development by Greenstone. Then we also drive through just these communities here where built up more in like the 80s to early 2000s. You get just a glimpse at some of the golf courses, which there are 3 in Liberty Lake within the city limits. I mean, these two are literally right next to each other, Meadow Lane Golf Course and Liberty Lake Golf Course. Then we'll take a drive through down to the lake, actually kind of look at what the original kind of Liberty Lake was, the older homes through here, and then you kind of get a glimpse at some of the brand new luxury mansions that are on Liberty Lake, because getting land on the lake is very rare. And even fixer-upper homes will sell for close to $1 million, homes that need a total gut job. And then lastly, not lastly, I do take you on a little bit of a drive along the shoreline just so you can get a better idea of it. And then we take a look at North Liberty Lake as well. Some of the developments going on out here. We go over to Orchard Park. You'll see what's going on in the River District, in the community, and what the new downtown of this area is going to look like. It's going to bring a lot of new life to Liberty Lake as well. So I'm excited to get into this. We're gonna kind of do a map tour and then you'll see some B-roll of me driving through these neighborhoods as I'm talking about it. All right, so like I said, I started in Legacy Ridge, which on Google Maps doesn't look like a whole lot, but if you really actually drive through the neighborhood, way more development than what's going on here. Like basically all of this is filled in and there's tons of homes in the area. And then you have, it's actually continues on the other side now. This road right here going up has houses all along it now. And this is where D.R. Horton has built up a large majority of homes. And then as you get to the top towards the park here, you have these nice like 1 level, 3-4 bedroom houses. They're kind of like an L shape. It's a nice design. It's very low maintenance, like 1 level living, close to the sidewalk, very little front yard, backyard. But there's a nice community park like right here in the middle of all these houses. And then this used to be a landfill, this kind of odd section in the middle here. This isn't actually an area where they plan on developing because I don't think at the moment they technically can. So this section right here is actually more just like hiking trails. It was once a landfill, but it's totally fine now. Like everything's buried, and there's a little, like these little white dots is actually like venting, I think, for the area. It's totally safe. It's totally fine, but these are just like walking trails, these white lines through here. So it's actually kind of nice that all the houses along here back up to it, and they have their own little community hiking trail area throughout the community. So as I left Legacy Ridge, I came down Country Vista Boulevard, which is like the main commercial area for Liberty Lake. So I drove past like the Home Depot, and there's like so many dental offices in this area. It's kind of interesting, but it's mostly just commercial dentist, office, car wash. There's a handful of restaurants here as well. You have Yolks Fresh Market here, which I would say is, I think, one of the better grocery stores in Spokane. It's a smaller chain. And then you have a Safeway here as well, handful of other shops and things like that. Barlow's is a restaurant in Liberty Lake, and that is right there. So you get everything that you need is kind of just in that commercial area. This isn't like, yeah, not tons of small businesses or anything like that, but everything for the most part is right there. So as I came out of the parking lot from Safeway, you can see the Trailhead Golf Course, which is a 9-hole golf course right here. And then I head over to the Big Trout condominium area, which, like I said, I have a client that met me through this YouTube channel that's purchasing a condo in this area right now. Really simple living. The HOA is really affordable. And like you're in almost walking distance to the grocery store and things like that, not far at all. So I really do think that this is, it's like one of the most affordable ways to get into Liberty Lake, but it's just a nice, simple community. There's a pool, community garden, everything like that. So it's a good area if you're looking for just that kind of smaller condo lifestyle. And then as I exited the Big Trout, you can kind of get a feel for one of the slightly older neighborhoods. There's a lot of like duplexes and things in this area. And there's a row of townhomes here that you can actually purchase. And then just basically kind of your standard 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom type houses all the way through this community here. But you're just getting kind of your mid 2000s type style home here in the Spokane area. You can kind of, as I zoom in, kind of this 2-car garage in front, 2-story home. The stairs would probably split as you walk in the entrance, but you can kind of see that they're all relatively the same in this neighborhood. But the great feature about this neighborhood is Pavilion Park. This is a large park with skate park, basketball courts, tennis courts, and it's cool because they have this is like the Spokane Symphony will play in this park in the summer. There's a lot of community events, but nice open field here. And then you have the elementary school over here as well. So then there's a lot of open space in this area. But then you have the Meadow Lane Golf Course community. Those houses can get a lot more expensive, especially on the golf course. 800 to $1 million most likely, especially if they have the golf course view. And then I headed down this main road past the Meadow Lane Golf Course and Liberty Lake Golf Course. And this community here, mostly built like in the 70s, 80s, maybe sometimes even back to the 50s. Some of these homes are kind of like more rancher style homes, but lots have been updated and flipped throughout the years. Not a lot of like gentrification left for Liberty Lake. Many houses have already gone through that. But now you start to approach the lake, and this is where you start to see your first like little communities, especially here in the Bay. There's another little condo association right here that I'm driving by as well. And then we work our way kind of into what is really, I mean, people don't really even think about this area as, I guess when people are thinking move to Liberty Lake, like I feel like they think more like Legacy Ridge, the bigger houses, but there's actually this older community here that has all access, beach access, the majority of it down to Liberty Lake. So many of these homes in the second and third row, they still get private community beach access, even though that there are houses all along the beach there. So there's different paths that will bring you down to the public beach, but you do need to be a community member to get part of that beach access. So there's a ton of great opportunities in here. Obviously many of the houses, whether they're fixed up or not, again, going for very expensive. I know that some of these older houses back here, I have some friends that recently bought one of those, and you can find deals where you find a fixer-upper for $400,000 or $500,000, and these are actually up on a hill a little bit. So if you luck out, you can actually still see over everybody's house and get a nice view of the area, but not pay the big bucks to be right on the waterfront there. So there's a lot of houses in here. It's very crammed. The road's pretty tight back here, and the houses are very close together, as you can see. So it's just, this is the very dense community of the older Liberty Lake. And so then the road continues and works its way through the trees here. There's a few little bays and little neighborhoods, but these are all private HOA communities. Very expensive. Like I can't even film in some of these areas because they're gated and things like that. So I'm just not even able to get access down there unless there was a house for sale and I was able to get the code from the MLS or something like that. So coming back to the more north side of Liberty Lake, but still on the south side of I-90, we have that Stonehill community by Lennar, which obviously in Google Maps looks like just a big pile of dirt, but it's coming together very quickly. Phase 1 is coming to a close relatively soon, and they're getting started on the big central park that's going to be in that community. So anybody that kind of gets in phase 1 is going to be able to remove themselves from feeling like they're in a construction site pretty soon. And then this Rocky Hill area is an older greenstone community, and you can really tell like when you're driving through a greenstone community because they have just very specific color palettes, floor plans. Like I didn't know that it was a old greenstone community when I was driving through, but once you go through, you're like, oh yeah, that's greenstone right there. So much more of a newer development. It's a little bit off the beaten path. You kind of have to come through this industrial park to get over there. But once you're in the community, it is very nice. But yeah, this is an industrial area. It's a very clean industrial area, a lot more like tech companies, small doctor offices, things like that. And so there's not very many like large, I don't know, car dealerships or anything like that. In the Liberty Lake area. The largest one is, as you can see here, is Huntwood Cabinets, which is a cabinet maker. Basically, if you buy any new construction home in Spokane or within a 100-mile radius, is probably Huntwood Cabinets that's supplying it. And then I drove back down here and made the trek over the bridge into North Liberty Lake. And again, on Google Earth, this looks very dead. But obviously it's much more built up than this. You have Trutina going in all throughout here, which I've talked a lot about. We're slowly seeing some more growth in this kind of new downtown area of the River District. There's a meadery that's been struggling to open for a long time, but I think they're finally going to release an opening date here soon. But we've got your coffee shop, Three Ninjas, things like that. So the community's really coming together, but like I've mentioned in other videos, millions of dollars is going to go into this area to really make it another kind of little downtown core for this area. And then I just drove along the River District and you can kind of see the growth. Obviously here it still just looks like farmland and many of it is still being prepared for building, but there's obviously way more townhomes along here now, but there's still lots of empty space and room for growth. But we made our trek to Orchard Park. Oh, because actually I went down a road that Google Maps doesn't even know exists. It's actually over here. I drove this way. This is where all the townhomes are right now. And so some of them are for rent, some of them are true townhomes that you can purchase. And then you have Versalia Pizza, Annie's Ice Cream, and TT's Barbecue right here. All three are amazing. And then I drove past Orchard Park, which was set up for its winter glow, had all of the Christmas lights and everything out there. And then obviously all throughout here now is pretty developed with those kind of single family greenstone homes. This was the much earlier development of the River District, and up here in the River Rock Park area as well. So a lot has been developed, but there's still quite a bit of space over here that does not yet have houses. And then I just exited out the roundabout here and drove past Selkirk Middle School and then made my way back into kind of the Spokane Valley. So like I said, that's really the full map tour of Liberty Lake, those kind of little pockets of neighborhoods, some brand new, some older, but really the only place you're gonna see like really old homes is right there on the lake for any property that hasn't been torn down and built up into a big mansion. So there's a handful, but not many. And if you're looking to be right on the lake, obviously that's super limited opportunity. Anybody that I know that it lives on the lake, a lot of those people bought it off market. They like knew somebody in the neighborhood that passed the house off to them or sold it to them, or else it's going to market and selling for quite a bit. But I hope this was at least a little bit helpful on identifying the little pockets and neighborhoods of the Liberty Lake area. If you have any more questions or you want to deep dive into this, you can use the link down below in the description to schedule a time on my calendar that we could jump into this and you could ask any questions and we could go through this map together. So if that's of interest to you and you want to do that with any neighborhood in the Spokane area, I'd be more than happy to do that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.